My name's Liz Riffle, and I'm the owner of Riffle Farms, a small bison farm in Terra Alta, West Virginia.
And I'm now the owner of Holistic Livestock Farm Consulting. And I'm so excited to talk to you a little bit today about partnering with Mother Nature instead of fighting against her, and making things a little bit easier for yourself and probably your animals. A couple things that you can take back with you and try out on your own space, and then maybe we can chat more later. So tell me, what are some of the heartaches that you have on your farm right now? Do you spend a lot of time feeding animals or moving animals? Or how about watering animals? It doesn't matter the time of year, whether it's summer or winter. If you got to bring water to your animals, that could take you hours, right? So let's chat a little bit about making that a little simpler, because we have other things we want to do throughout the day, right? Most of us have young families or families we want to visit, and we have to sell our product. So there's got to be time in the day for us to have some personal time, some family time, and some time to actually sell our product. We got into this business because we enjoy the lifestyle, right? We want to be outdoors, we love our animals, we like being out in the pasture. So let's get back to enjoying that. So back to basics. Let's work with Mother Nature instead of against her. Are you pushing or are you pulling your animals? Because let me tell you, it is a heck of a lot easier to pull your animals into a different space instead of push them. Because most of us have animals that greatly outweigh us. So in order to push them, it takes a lot of effort and a lot of stress on both of us. So why do it? You gotta find a good way to entice them to be pulled somewhere. Most of the time, some new grass, a little treat, or something exciting is just enough to pull them where you want to go. We are a grass-fed and grass-finished operation, but don't get me wrong, a little bit of grain sprinkled in even the smallest places goes a long way to make life a heck of a lot easier for you and your animal. Now, let's talk fencing. Is fencing making your life easier or harder? I know it is a big investment up front, but trust me, if you invest in the right fencing to begin with, it's going to make life a heck of a lot easier for years to come, honestly. Now, I know a lot of us want to use polywire fence that is totally movable, and I love that idea. Unfortunately, I can't use that with my bison because they won't respect a polywire. So we definitely have to have some pretty permanent infrastructure on our farm. But even if you do use polywire, I highly recommend an external fence. What happens when you have predators? Is a single strand or even a double strand of polywire going to keep your animals in? How about calves? Is the wire even low enough to keep your calves in the space? How about if you have pigs? Don't they go under everything? Things to think about. Here at Riffle Farms, we have either 5 or 4 strands of high tensile wire that 2 of them are hot. And we put posts every 20 feet with spacers in between that to support the wires. And that has worked very well for us for years. Now let's talk about water. What do you use for water? We have a couple different options on our farm. We have an automatic watering system, as well as some mobile 300-gallon water troughs that we have put inside of tires because bison like to flip things over. So it's a little tougher to move those, but you can get water tanks that are, I shouldn't say tanks, water troughs that are about 150 gallons that are super easy to move. Just one person, dump them out, move them to the next paddock or pasture. Most of us as livestock farmers don't have to actually put them inside tires and move those. It does take a tractor to move ours. But let me show you a couple of the different things that we do for water on our farms.
So, got my water right here. There we go. That one's semi-full. Looks like I gotta fill that one up here. We also have automatic waterers on the farm, which is a true lifesaver and helps with efficiency or efficient use of water, because we do have a well that in dry times, like now, summer of 2020, the well runs dry pretty easy. So with the automatic waterers, it kind of tampers some of the water usage. They get plenty of water and what they need, but it doesn't have that draw on the system, you know, when you go to fill up a 300-gallon tank. So here I am at the automatic water. So these waters have balls in them that the animals have figured out, you know, how to get in there and drink it. It actually keeps the water cool, keeps bugs off of it, and helps to prevent it from freezing in the winter, which can be helpful. So
we also use green jug waterers throughout the farm and have put in a couple of those, which has also been super helpful. But when all else fails, sometimes you just have to haul water. So you better make sure that you don't have to haul it far, because usually it's in the middle of freezing cold weather. Just like when you have to feed hay, how are you staging those bales to make it easier for you to feed those animals? When staging your hay, bales that are wrapped should go closest to the pasture where they're probably going to be used. So wrapped bales can sit there for 6 months or so. So even when you're getting your loads in from your different suppliers, go ahead and automatically stage those bales next to the pastures you're most likely to use for feeding, whether it's during the fall, winter, or even if you feed a few hay bales throughout the growing season. Okay, so we are going to pull our animals instead of push them into the places we want them to go. We're going to get smart about where we are getting our water from so that we don't have to haul it as often. And we're going to think about what we want to do for fencing so that we have some permanent structure to keep us from chasing escaped animals. Because we have better things to do, right?